What is up, everybody? If you like the content I put up, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave me a comment below letting me know what you think of today's video. What is up, everybody? STARSKREAM here, and today we're going to be looking at the newest epic in Dungeon Boss, and that is for Solaris. Solaris seems to have gotten a little bit of a makeover here, looking mighty fine, and we are just going to take a quick look. I have not personally gotten to take very much of a deep dive into it, as I have not actually purchased the epic, but my friend Fireen, this is him here, you can go send him a friend request and all that. He's in Justice League. They're a very cool guild as well, and he was nice enough to let me use his so that we could all check out Solaris. He does have the maxed out epic, as you can see here. You can see that it adds 20 defense, or 30 defense, 20 attack, some crit, and we'll go over all that in a second here. First, why don't we just take a look at the info tab here like we normally do and see what it says. New Solaris epic, Phoenix Fire. I guess, you know, birds don't really carry weapons, so I assume it just means that she has to, like, have some type of, I don't know, maybe it's like Phoenix in like Marvel, and she just, like, awakens. I don't know. Her epic attack is a ranged shield piercing attack on target enemy for 2 times damage, generates 20% fury, deals 4 times damage, and generates 40% fury with a retaliation attack. Now, this is kind of interesting because when I first opened this up on my account earlier and I was reading it, I was like, what is fury? Like, I can't think of what fury is off the top of my head. Maybe it's because I just don't use Solaris much. So I'm like looking around, I'm like, looking through her hero card, I'm like, what in the hell is fury? I don't see fury anywhere. I'm like, wait, what do barbarians have? No, that's called rage. I'm like looking around, and if you can't remember what fury is, please let me know in the comments so that I don't feel like that big of an idiot. But I literally could not figure it out. I went into PvP, couldn't figure it out. You know, just a minute ago when Firing let me hop on the account, and finally I realized that the meter that Solaris's third special move does, like how she can build up this, like, her meter to, like, do that res, that's called fury. But nowhere on her hero card that I could find, at least, does it refer to it as fury. So anyways, in case you didn't know, now you know. Now this isn't that great, honestly. I mean, it's okay, but a lot of the times I imagine you're probably going to be using her special attacks more so than her epic attack. This is one of those rare ones where, you know, I've mentioned in the past that you're probably not going to be using the epic for its epic attack much. You know, you have ones like Dagon where the epic attack is like one of the most important parts of it. And you have ones like this one where the attack just really isn't that amazing. Again, it's single target, it's shield piercing, which is nice. And I guess if you really need to res your team, you are going to get that fury regeneration, which is nice as well. And, you know, if Solaris happens to do a retaliation attack, then she gets 40% of it back, which could help you get that res faster. But all in all, it's not really that amazing. I'd say probably her passive is a little bit more important when it comes to this epic, which her epic passive is Epic Fiery Soul. Dungeon Boss has been doing this thing lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but with a lot of the newest epics, they've been making like blanket like buffs to a certain type of team, right? So this is Epic Fiery Soul. Beasts on this hero's team have wild and untamable souls, making them spirit and fire immune. They take 20% reduced chaos damage. So as you guys, I hope you know, Solaris does have this fiery soul thing, which makes her immune to fire and spirit. So essentially this just passes that buff along to the rest of her team. Now, this is fine, but I was really hoping that they were going to do more with this epic. And Solaris is one that I was pretty excited that got an epic, because Solaris is a hero that's like not like bad, but also not like exceptional, right? So she's like right on the fringe. I usually place her, I'd say probably about a B+. She had a little bit of time to shine a little bit in the past when people were using her a lot with Leo for certain attack teams, not really on defense, but for certain attack teams. She had a little bit of a moment to shine for a couple months, but then has since gotten really unmeta again, and really needed something to kind of boost her up. But more so than that, needed something to be able to boost the whole Beast team up. I think part of the problem is this epic helps out the Beast team, but they didn't do really any Beast reworks. There was no reworks to Leo or Grognog or any of these other heroes that haven't been touched in years, right, that really need it, so that a Beast team can actually be viable. Because right now it's kind of like, you know, Ego Rock, who you guys all know how much I love Ego Rock, how he has like a passive that helps out some like monsters or what have you, but those heroes are completely useless. So right now beasts are pretty useless. So this didn't really change the landscape of the game at all, really. It really did nothing except have something else, you know, for us to spend money and time on. So unfortunate, and I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer on that. That's just kind of how my feelings are on that. Now we can look at her hero card really quick. There's not really a whole lot to go over, because aside from those two things we just looked at, not a whole lot changed, right? Over in her stats here, you'll see this epic fiery soul, which is what we mentioned. Now it does give her teammates 20% reduced chaos damage. Now, because of the way it says they, I assume it refers to only beasts on this hero's team, which again is kind of like cool, I guess. Like the only hero that I can really see that having any impact on is Leo, but Leo is just not really that necessary right now, especially with things that are eating corpses right now, like you know, Hopper and Niveus and other things that are out that just like make this kind of like just not really that great. The 20% reduced chaos damage is good because it is obviously very chaos damage is obviously very prevalent right now, but again, just not enough to make this something that I would recommend to anybody to like go out and like buy if they were, you know, if they were like debating, oh, should I get this for 20 bucks or whatever. Serenity, like I definitely would have said, yeah, go for it. Dagon, obviously, yeah, I would have said, but this is one that I'm just kind of like gonna be like past. You know, I hope that this signals that they might be working on reworking some of the Beast heroes soon, because that would be cool. I like a lot of the Beast heroes, and they definitely need some work to get them back to being somewhat usable again. That said, what I really want to do is just take it into PvP. I did one match while I was trying to figure out what this whole Fury thing was, but I honestly don't really have a team for this yet, and realistically I can't see this being something that's viable versus top tier meta teams right now. But we're gonna try out, I'm just gonna be lazy and just use what I've been using. Any of you guys that have joined my stream lately, which if you haven't, you should definitely come join us. I do quite a bit of PvP on there, but if you've been there lately, you've seen that I'm using a Lorelei, Agnon, and Alrakis team. So let's just use that and just slap a Solaris into it and just see how it goes. Now, I'm not going to go and change any of Firene's runes, so we'll just use whatever he's got going. It looks like he's got an evasion, a healer, a tainted, enabler, and so it looks like he was maybe testing out how the enabler works, so he threw how her epic attack works, so he threw some enablers on there. And obviously this is a very all attack build. I would definitely agree with the evasion rune. I'd say that I would probably make my Solaris personally a little bit more skill and defense based rather than attack, because I still do want her to be able to survive so she can get her res off. Granted, I know that she reses even if she dies, but it's always a little bit better to avoid her dying, in my opinion, usually. And the skill is there for her healing to have more of an effect. But like I said, we're just going to run with what he's got. So we're just going to hop right into a pretty easy match here. But again, just so that we can take a look at how this is all kind of working here. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to see here in a second, this Fury thing that I was referring to earlier is her S3. Oh, if we get to use it, actually, we might not get to use it. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So this right here, in case you never noticed, this was called Fury. I definitely, if I knew in the past, I definitely forgot, but that's what that is. And again, this is so that she can either sacrifice and res her team or do damage to the other team, but I don't know that there's ever been a scenario where her killing herself to just damage the other team has ever been, you know, what's been the ideal option. But as you can see, maybe not. Well, I was hoping that I would be able to show you her Fury going up, but again, realistically, it's not really something that's like, I don't know. I can't see that really being that much of a factor, right? I'm not going to go after any of these big dogs here. I mean, we could probably, this is fine. I don't want to like go after like these really difficult teams and then get a bunch of losses on somebody else's account. I just kind of wanted to show you guys more or less how it works. And then if the meta decides that, you know, Solaris is good and people figure out a good team with her, and I feel like it's pertinent that I show you guys, then I'll do a follow-up video at some point where we go over a better team and some better runes and so on. But for now, I just kind of wanted to just give a little brief overview. This is her Fury, res, cool, pretty straightforward. Again, like, I don't feel like this epic really changed much, and I know I should probably try and use her with beasts, but the problem is I can't think of a beast team that would work against any defense right now, at least at this high of level, against the type of opponents that I'm sure he encounters, right? Like maybe against some of these, like that's a pretty this Rogar 78 needs some help with the defense here, but like even against something like this, I don't think that, like, even I think we'd get wiped out completely by one Dagon. Like, that's how the meta is right now. So I don't trust pulling in a full beast team just for the sake of seeing how it goes, right? I just don't think it'll go very well, and I don't know that he has a beast team really all that ruined up. That said, that's going to conclude this video. I wanted to make this one a little bit short. I do need to give him his account back, but again, I do appreciate him letting me use this, and definitely go shoot him a friend invite, go spam him and use his keys. I hope everybody's been doing well during this lockdown. I know they're doing this home hangout special, which is pretty cool. Make sure you head to the shop. There was a thing right here that cost this stamina bundle here is 50 stamina for 30 days, and it costs 1 gold. So make sure that if you haven't gotten it, go and get it. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I will talk to you guys soon.